Hey, let's tell them about the time where we hijacked my father and took him to the haunted prison.
When we shanghaied him.
Well, hello there, parapeeps, and welcome to another episode of Our Haunted Travels. I am your host, Sean Donnelly.
I'm your co-host, Marianne Donnelly.
Season 3. Season 3 opener right here on Our Haunted Travels, Panic D. In these series of videos, we are going to talk about the West Virginia Penitentiary in Moundsville, West Virginia. And I say series because there are 6 of them.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot. Now, normally we create separate videos that tell you about the history, the paranormal, and our experiences, all that. This is very exciting because we have the tour. We're going to take you inside on the tour with us through the prison.
Wow, that's exciting. You get to go on a tour with us.
That's right. So our tour guide, Chuck, who's a former prison guard, said, sure, go ahead and record it. So we cut some of it out, but it made 6 different videos.
All right.
All right?
Yeah.
So if you are into the paranormal history and forensic type videos,
don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ding the little bell so you'll hear from us next time we post a new video.
So we're not going to waste any more of your time. Welcome back to Season 3. Leave some comments in all of these videos. Let us know what you think. Have you been there before? Would you like to go there and take the tour? Or, did you enjoy this series?
So without further ado, here's the penitentiary.
Episode 1. Here we go. We're about to go on the prison tour.
Okay, hello and welcome to the Old State Penitentiary. My name's Chuck. I'll be your guide, and I will try and give you some of the history and some of the things that went on here. At any time, if you have any questions, please ask me. That's what I'm here for. If you have cameras, yes, take as many pictures as you want. And I wish you luck. Where you're sitting at right now, this is a non-contact visitation room. This is where we would bring the inmates. They would be searched outside the door, brought in here and seated. Once we had them all in, we had them all sitting in here. He would ask the guy in control cage to open up the front door, allow the visitors in. They all had to come in and sign in, and then be searched, and then they would be permitted around the outside of this. They started out talking too degrading, then later on they went to a phone system to give a little more privacy. The place here was built in 1866, closed in March of 1995. We housed men, women, and children. Our youngest in here were 12. Some women were here from 1866 until 1947, and then we moved them down to Penn Springs to their own prison. The ladies were never mixed with the guys here. We had a small prison in here for them. But the young ones, they were tried as adults, so they were coming in with the adults here. This is the actual electric chair. 9 people died in this chair, plus we did 85 hangings. In 1949, we did our last hanging here. This was when Warden Skeen wanted to go to the electric chair. And no one here had ever seen an electric chair before. And the closest one around was actually in Columbus, Ohio. So Warden Skeen had this officer grab an inmate, Paul Glenn, and drive him up to Columbus. He sat down with pencil and paper, drew what he saw, and then he came back here and he built this. Yes, it's actually made by an inmate. Then they ended up having to hide him in another penitentiary because everybody here kept trying to kill him for what he did. These are the actual buttons used for it, and it wasn't in here. We had a death house at that time. It's since been torn down. I'll show you where it was when we get out onto the yard. But the way this would work, only one button activates the entire system, and the electrician never wanted the same button to be used. That way the officers would never know for sure which one was actually doing the execution. For the officer's part of it, the day before the execution, every officer here put their name in a hat, and they would draw the 3 names this way. And then they would draw 3 more as alternates. And if any of these officers said, I can't do this, he's actually terminated from his job right there on the spot, and they bring in the next one. This was something that had to be done. The phone was to represent a last-minute stay. We never had one. That's why you find most of our execution runs from 9 o'clock at night to midnight. We give the governor the entire day to try to stop it if he needed to stop it. We did have one person whose sentence was changed from death to life without, and that was Madeline Dean. She was sentenced to be hanged here, and the governor said he would not execute a woman on his watch, so he committed her sentence. She would have been the first and only female ever to be executed in the state by the state if they had done it. I did have one guy whose sentence was overturned. That was Robert Baylor. That was in 1949. He was sentenced in here to be executed for first-degree murder. But the weird thing happened. The judge who heard his case actually called the governor and told him he heard the case and he doesn't believe the guy's guilty. So the governor calls here, talked to Warden Skeens, told him what was going on. He said, how about you talking with him and see what you think? So Skeens talks with him for a few days, then he calls the governor back and he says, the guy may be right, he may not be guilty. He said, let me talk to some people, see if I can't find someone to help me. And this is where it really got interesting for me, is who they found. He was a lawyer, but he was also a book writer. His name was Earl Stanley Gardner. He wrote all the old stories for the Perry Mason show that was on TV. I know you younger ones have no clue what I'm talking about, but it's okay. That's what older ones. It was an old-time TV show. But it surprised me, a guy from Hollywood would actually come all the way here to help this guy get off death row. That surprised me. And then if you walk around the museum, you may have noticed we have a letter in there from Charlie Manson. He wrote here in 1983, he wanted to know if he could come here to do his time. We told him no. Now the reason he wanted to come here, he was raised just 6 miles north of here in a little town like Macon. But what a lot of people never knew was we also had his mother here. She was in here for armed robbery. Her and her brother robbed a gas station down in Charleston, got caught. Her name at the time was Ada Kathleen Maddox. She married Manson, who adopted Charlie. And then the paintings you're going to see today are all done by our inmates. I have one out here on the wall of the Middle River Gordy Bridge. It was done by an inmate known as Danny Lehman, head of the Avengers, a motorcycle gang in here that pretty much run this prison in the late 70s through the mid-80s, up until November of 86 when the area brotherhood killed him over in North Hall on a contract hit. But our most popular painter here by far was Billy Foster. You don't get to see any of his oil paintings, but over here by the restroom there's some pencil drawings. And if you look closely, you'll understand just how good this guy really was. He actually has oil paintings in art galleries. He was that kind of good. He did 28 years here. So if you guys are ready to go for a little walk, we're going to get started. Understand this. If you're not cool and comfortable right now, when you come back here, this is going to feel real cool.
Slam it loud.
Where you guys are at right now, this was the main corridor, this was known as Main Street. We had one officer out here with a set of keys, he controlled all of it. And every hour on the hour, the bells would sound, and he would run down here, open up all the doors, and for 10 minutes, the inmates could go wherever they needed to. The yard, the housing units, law library, reading library, classification, education, industry building, the infirmary, and places like this. 10 minutes later, the bells would sound, and he would be locked back down for another hour. This was a maximum security penitentiary, and no, these guys were not in their cells all day. These guys could actually come out at 7 o'clock in the morning, stay out until 10 o'clock at night, only going in for meals and counts. We got about 680 cells here. And every cell here is 5 by 7. This is very small. And you truly don't understand how small this is until you actually step inside one. You're going to have a few chances to check this out. And you're going to understand. Our problem was there were times we were near 3,000 inmates. So we would stick 3 in a 5 by 7 cell, creating some problems. To make things even worse, the average temperature in here in the summertime could range anywhere from 100 to 135 degrees. So the inmates would go through here knocking out the windows trying to get air to move in here. Of course, that maintenance is mad at them. Their revenge was they wouldn't replace any of them windows till spring. How cold does it get in here? Well, I've seen it so cold in here, these floors will actually sweat and freeze. You can actually ice skate in here. I've seen the inmates in the shower with snow blowing in on them. That's a normal life in here for the inmates and staff alike. But it was the early years here that was really bad. We had what they called an inmate walk. One hand up on the wall, high up they could reach, the other hand on the shoulder of the inmates in front of them with their heads bowed. They weren't allowed to speak. They weren't allowed to look at you. They weren't allowed to step outside the line. Give me a second here. I need a little parking through that door right there, please. Prison. Originally, this was known as South Hall. This is where the original cell blocks were. In 1960, they tore out all the cells. They turned this area into a kitchen. 1986, we took the kitchen down. We built that wall, and the restroom. We turned this area into a contact visitation room. That's when the paintings went up. That was because of the little ones coming in here. They were scared. And it didn't help that we had a guy sitting up here holding a shotgun staring at us. So the inmates actually came to us and said, can we paint this to give the kids something else to look at and bring in some toys for them? We said yes. And believe it or not, this was all painted by just 2 guys, Smitty Harding and Sean Adamy. And Sean was the main artist on all of it. His only problem was he was colorblind. That's why he needed Smitty to help him with all his colors. And even that, they made mistakes. Because it's been brought to my attention several times. Always by liberal ones. And yes, it has to do with my Ninja Turtles. They're the wrong colors. The Raphael there actually should be the red one. Leonardo over there actually should be the blue one. Michelangelo's the orange one, and then they're mad because we don't even have Donatello the purple. So where else in the country can you go and find the most muscular unicorn you're ever going to see? Now he's buffed.